Hi, boys and girls. It's Mr. Sunito, and we're going to do some math, and we're going to work with some solid shapes, some 3D shapes. I'm going to do an example problem for you first, and then you can go get your book. So just watch this problem. I'm going to tell you, this probably isn't going to be too hard for you guys. I think you're going to do okay with this. But the problem reads at the top, Mike has, now let's see if we can name these shapes. What's this shape? That's a cone. He's got that shape. What's that? That's a cube. He has a cylinder and a rectangular prism. Now, it goes on to tell us he chose some shapes to build a bridge. And you can see the bridge right there. Now the question is, which shapes did Mike use to build the bridge? What you're going to need to do is, let me get a little bit of a better pen here. You're going to want to take a look at this bridge and see if you can figure out all the different shapes that were used. Now, to make it easier, I've made the bridge a little bit bigger. And over on this side, I'm showing you the shapes that Mike had. Now, he didn't use all of them, but let's see if we can figure out which shapes he used. So when I look at the bridge, do you see these two shapes? What are those? Are those cones? No. Those are cylinders. So what I'm going to do is the first thing I need to do is circle the cylinder. And that shows that that was one of the shapes that Mike used. Now, let's look at the rest of the shapes. Let's see. We've got this shape, which is a rectangular prism. And if you look at the bridge, that's a rectangular prism. That's a rectangular prism. So is that. And so is that. So the only thing I need to circle would be what? The rectangular prism. Now, did Mike use the cone? No, he didn't. So we cross it out. Did he use the cube? Nope. So we cross it out. And that's really all there is to it for this. Why don't you go get your math book and a pencil? This is going to be lesson 11.4, and you can open up to page 652. Go ahead and pause the video and come back when you're ready. Okay, you got your materials? I'm going to read through some of this with you, but you're going to do most of this work today by yourself. So the problem at the top reads, Kim used shapes to build this castle. This is the castle. Take a look at the castle. What shapes do you notice? I see a lot of different shapes there. So the next direction says, use three-dimensional shapes. Circle your answer. Which shapes did Kim use to build the tower? Now, this is a little tricky, so I'm gonna give you some hints. This is the tower. And they want to know which shapes did Kim use to build the tower. So go ahead, take your pencil, see if you know what to circle. What do you think? Take a look at the shapes. Now, I think I see on top a green cone. So you should have circled a cone. Did you do that? There's your cone. But there's one more shape. Don't forget. What's that shape? That's a cylinder. So, of course, you should have circled the cylinder too. Now, I like to cross out the shapes I'm not using. There were no cubes and no rectangular prisms. That's how these problems are going to work. Let's look at the next one. It says, which shapes did Kim use to build this wall? Here's the wall. I want you to look at the wall and then circle the shapes that she used to build the wall. I'm not going to give you the answer. You're going to have to send it to me in Class Dojo, but I will read you the rest of these. So problem 3 says, which shapes did Kim use to build this wall? So here's the wall. Which shapes did she use? Go ahead and circle those. And then problem 4 reads, which shapes did Kim use to build the gate? And here's the gate. Then, when you finish that, let's look at the next page, 653, and we're going to jump right to problem 5. And it says, Zach used shapes to build this gate. Which shapes did Zach use? Well, here's the gate. What shapes did he use? And you can circle them over here. Don't circle all of them. Here's question 6. Chris used shapes to build this wall. Which shapes did Chris use? Here's the wall. Circle the shapes. And then here's our Math on the Spot video for question 7. This will be our last problem. It says, Rosa uses, now look at what she uses, the cube, the cone, the cylinder, and the rectangular prism to build a tower. Draw to show a tower Rosa could build. I'll put the link up for the Math on the Spot video to help you out. That might give you some hints. And then you're done. Take a picture of both pages, send them to me in Class Dojo. I'll take a look at your work. I miss you much, and I can't wait to talk again with you soon. Have a great day, boys and girls.